So I've got a real treat in the shop here today. This is a Kawasaki KX450F F.I. And the F.I. stands for fuel injected. Yes, it's a fuel injected motocrosser. Now it didn't need much, just an oil change, a new back tire, air filter cleaning, and there was a few other little things like it was idling high. The kill switch didn't work and it was missing a few bolts here and there. The kill switch wasn't much, it was just unplugged for some reason, and the high idle was just an adjustment on the throttle body. So there's a knob here, looks like a choke, but when it's pulled it puts it in a high idle just to help it warm up, and whenever you turn it, it adjusts the idle speed. So the fuel injection system is very basic on this. It has three main parts. So first you have your fuel pump, which is in the tank. It's very lightweight, made out of aluminum. And you have your throttle body, which has a throttle blade, which when you open the throttle, it opens up to let the air in. And it has the injector built into it, and it is what sprays the fuel into the port. Then you have your ECM, or electronic control module. That is the brain of the system, and it tells the injector when to fire and for how long, and it takes inputs from the sensors it would need to make it work. So you'd have a crank position sensor, throttle position sensor, and probably a coolant temperature sensor, and maybe something else too, but those are the basic ones you would need to allow the system to work. So the charging system in this bike is a little bit bigger than normal, and that is to provide enough electrical power to run the fuel pump. Now they don't have a battery, so whenever you kick it, it's supposed to take 3 rotations of the crankshaft for it to fire up. So it does everything, it gets enough power to run the fuel pump and that. So it's not like your car or truck, when you get in, you turn the key, the fuel pump runs. Well, this doesn't have a battery, so it runs only whenever you kick the Kickstarter and roll the motor over, and it'll generate the power it needs to run the fuel pump and open the injector and give it the fuel it needs to start. The fuel injected system is better for racing. It's easier to tune the power output for track conditions. So say if it's a slippery track or a hard packed track, you can tune the power output to suit wherever you're racing. And it's a lot easier to make adjustments because all you'd have to do is plug in some kind of a handheld tuner or a laptop and use that to make adjustments instead of actually taking the carburetor off and changing jetting. So, and it will self-adjust for atmospheric pressure changes and temperature changes. And say if you were racing up a mountain and the elevation changed a couple thousand feet from sea level, it'll adjust to compensate for that. It's actually pretty cool the way they ship dirt bike tires, because I got one before, made a big order, and I got a bunch of stuff, and it's this tire, and then I just got it like this, and I thought I didn't get my other stuff, which I really needed. So then started ripping it open like this, and there's my stuff. Just stuck it inside the tire. Jeez, I guess that's all I got. Yeah, just yes, oil filter and a couple diodes. But yeah, that's what they do. And there's my tire. Pretty cool, eh? Well, how are you supposed to get in it then? Dummies. So I finally got it out of its wrapping, and there it is. Pretty good looking tire, a lot of grip on it. Well, I'm gonna put the rest of this back together, put the tank back on, put some fresh gas in it. I have the air filter here to oil up. Put that back on and then try it out. Got this nice new tire on here. That should hook up pretty good. Whenever I tested it earlier, it wasn't hooking up at all. It would just spin like crazy because the tire was bald. Kind of like that. So I'm going to we gotta change the oil in it, so I should probably take it for a rip to warm up the oil. Bring it back here, I can drain that out and change it. Well, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm just gonna take it easy. Don't want to wake my neighbor up. So just drain the oil out of it, and there's supposed to be a liter of oil in here. And there was already some oil in the pan, so I don't think there's quite a liter in there. So, and it's very, very thin. Maybe it's just because it's hot, I don't know. And another thing, most of the bolts in this thing are all mixed up. Some are wrong, some are in the wrong places. They're all different lengths, which doesn't make sense because both sides of these, the bolts should be all the same length from one side to the other. And then say in this oil filter cover here, this bolt was in there with a washer on it. Now the washer doesn't come off, it's made like that, but this bolt is supposed to be in the side cover. So I have to go back and find a little bit longer bolt without a washer that I stuck in the side cover and put it in its right spot. I don't know if it's the right bolt, but it's better than what was in there. It's way too short, and it was actually loose, and it's not supposed to have a washer on it. So yeah,